It's the Grateful Carnivore. Just took my socks off, got my flip flops on, get ready to do some grounding. I made some bone broth. I'm gonna drink some of that real quick. Looks delicious, doesn't it? Alright, let's do this grounding. Whew. It's a little cold. Whew. Alright. I gotta take my son to an appointment at 6 o'clock, a counseling session. He has high functioning autism and he has a lot of anxiety over it and other things, so I have to take him to counseling here in a bit, but I'm going to get a little bit of walking here, some grounding in. I guess my little subject right now is doing the carnivore the carnivore lifestyle correctly. I've been doing good the last few days. I haven't been cheating at all, and I'm really going to try hard tomorrow to cut out coffee. I didn't buy any more. I ran out this morning and decided not to buy any more. And luckily we have free coffee at work, so if I lose my friggin' mind, I'll have to get a cup of coffee at work, but I'm really going to try to not do that. I got plenty of bone broth I've made I'm going to try to drink that instead. I even thought about drinking some hot water to try to convince my mind that I'm, getting a hot liquid in me, so it must be coffee, right? So I'm just gonna, stop being a baby about it and try to fight it as long as I can. If I have to drink coffee at a particular point, I guess I will. But I'll try to do a small amount, just because I know I'm gonna be probably dead tired feeling and headaches and just feeling really bad, withdrawing from caffeine. But I'm gonna try my damnedest. I just want to get away from addictions and away from caffeine, and only how to do it is just to do it. So it causes so much anxiety, and just overall your well-being is just better without caffeine. So I'd like to get to a point where I don't need it anymore. If I have to have some tomorrow, I would try even harder over the weekend to to get it done, to just deal with it. But I don't know. I have a major stress today. I'm divorced, and I'm raising the kid on my own. He's now 18, so he's an adult now. But I've pretty much been raising him his whole entire life. Me and his mom were together for a few years, but ever since we split up, he's just always been with me, and that's been since 2008 or 2009 or whatever it's been now. And I don't know, she created a lot of debt during our time of being together. She created me a lot of debt that I've already taken care of. We're talking $30,000-$40,000 worth of stuff, and the local hospital, she I don't know what the heck she was doing. She wasn't taking care of her bills and the kids' bills and whatever from the hospital, and I don't know what was going on, but it all came back and haunted me for the last decade, over a decade now. They because I was head of household being married to her, and we got married in 2004, and I divorced her somewhere, I guess around maybe 2012, maybe. I honestly don't even remember right. Somewhere around that time, maybe a little later. But all that debt was on me. They've always been coming after me, taking me to court, doing all this stuff, paying bills in her name and the stepkid's name, and just, there was one or two that were my son's name somehow that I took care of, but I've had to pay in hospital bills and her debt. God, it has to be about $30,000 by now. And she went and filed bankruptcy, and they were trying to force her to pay some money, but she would pay a few bucks here and there. And then she went and freaking filed bankruptcy, so that it put all of it on me. So she got away with it, got away with all her debt, and I got stuck with it. I'm trying not to come down on her, but it's very aggravating that I've had to pay. I've spent, since 2008, I've been paying off debt that was never mine. Some stuff was mine because it was bills that were accumulated together that I didn't even know that weren't being paid. I thought I gave her control of the money because I was out working, didn't have time to deal with it, and she was barely paying things, getting more and more in debt in my name. So, but I took care of all that other debt, and as of today, a half hour ago, I made a deal. I owed $1,800 left out of one last hospital bill. The hospital bill that goes back to 2006. And I had insurance in 2006, but she obviously didn't, and was creating all these bills and wasn't paying them or whatever. And I just paid off a bill. I gave them $1,000, and I'm finally, well, at least I hope I'm finally, they gave me a paid in full. You're going to send me some papers from the court in the mail. But I asked them repeatedly, because every time I've ever been done paying a debt, all of a sudden something comes back. Last about probably six months to a year ago, they garnished my wages on a bill for, I think it was $1,200. And when that one was paid off, I thought I thought, okay, one last one snuck in on me. But then another one for $1,800. Actually, it was more than that. It was over, I think it was actually like $2,500 I've been paying on it. And then it got down to the last $1,800. And they actually called me and they told me, hey, if you give give us $1,000, we'll let it go. We'll let the last $800 go. And I talked to the ex-wife about it, and I tried to get her to give me $500. I kind of bullshitted with her a little bit. And I told her, hey, they wanted $500 from me and $500 from her, just so I could try to get something out of this woman, instead of just debt. And she said a few choice words, and that was the end of that. But I just went to the bank, got the $1,000 out, and went and made sure I got physical copy that it was paid in full. So hopefully nothing else sneaks up on me, another bill of hers. They can't keep coming after me for stuff, because we're no longer married. I'm no longer head of household. So, but this is just one of the stressors I've been dealing with for the last 10 years. It's like, even though I got this woman out of my life, as my wife, I still had to deal with her all these years over debt, over raising our kid, completely on my own. It's just, I don't know. I don't know why people do this to each other, I was nothing but a good person. I am not the best father. I've done a lot of failing. I've always been there for my kid. I've raised my kid his whole entire life. I've always been there for him. 18 years old now. That's one thing I've been. If I could say one thing, that I've always been there for him. He's always been under my roof. I've always supported him. I lacked as a great father. I could have done a lot better. I could have been more stern and whatever. But it is what it is. I wasn't as tough on him. I felt bad that his mom left him, basically abandoned him. Chose herself, chose a man, chose to make more kids with that man. She even kind of abandoned the oldest one out of 4 kids. But I know this has kind of become a rant, whatever, but I guess I'm just venting. I guess we got to do that here and there. But, people just need to treat each other so much better. My son has so many, he already has a problem. He's autistic. The kid he's high functioning, which is good. He's very extremely intelligent. But, it's like, what do you do when your mother, does that to you? Chooses herself. I don't know. I don't know if I should even post this video, since I've been ranting about his mother so much, but I'm gonna stop this grounding. My feet are starting to hurt a little bit. It's a little cold. But, you know, I just try to get closer to the earth and try to do better with that. And I'm gonna have some more of my bone broth. Tomorrow I do plan on waking up and either having some bone broth or some just hot water, you know. I'm gonna just do so much better with my health, my lifestyle. Getting the last bit of the sun. There really isn't much sun left. It's not pitch black yet, but it does look pretty cool out here. Most of the leaves are off the trees. But I don't know. I'm going to do better. I'm going to be better. I'm going to get healthier. I'm going to get happier. I'm going to live a better life and try to live a better life with my son. And just, I'm going to let go of all these stupid things. I think I'm finally debt free. You know, luckily these bills, you know, weren't in collections or anything like that. I've got really good credit, so luckily that stuff's okay. But I think I'm finally, nobody else can come after me for money. I just, you know, from other people's debts. So, one last stress, right? Life's stressful enough. But I'm gonna stop rambling on here. But tomorrow's just gonna be a new, fresh day. You know, just I'm gonna continue on eating the carnivore lifestyle. I'm gonna still try to get out here and do my grounding here and there, and just let all these stresses go. Let all this anxiety go. Just be better, you know. I want to be the old Jim, you know. I want to be the guy I was before I got married. You know, before I, you know, just, I've lost myself. I've completely lost myself over these, you know, last 20 years. I was a completely different person. I never had a care in the world. You know, now, you know, responsibility kind of got to me, and, you know, no matter what, my kid has, you know, he's always going to be taken care of. You know, he's always going to have a roof over his head. I always have those kind of things. You always have to worry about your job and paying your bills and your mortgages and, you know, whatever. You just, those are things you have to do. It's just little stresses that you just have to have every day in your life to just get through life, you know. And life is extremely expensive right now. And now that we just had this midterm elections and we got a lot of, Ohio did really well. We got most of our guys we needed on the Republican side. So a lot of done states like Pennsylvania put stupid people in office, which is ridiculous. But hopefully we have enough people on the Republican side that we can do really good, you know, 2024, so we can get our country back. I'm sick of this stuff. I'm sick of paying ridiculous amounts of money for everything. Things that, you know, it's just ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. It's what the Democrats have done to us is just, you know, that's another damn stressor. I need to stop talking about this before I do start stressing out more, but you know, just, I'm going to try to deal with all this stuff better. Just, I'm going to live a better life. I'm going to be happier. I'm going to, you know, brush all this anxiety away. You know, my son goes to counseling to deal with this, and I just have to deal with it myself, and I'm gonna do my best. So, and before I keep rambling on more, it's the Grateful Carnivore. Like, share, subscribe.